Hi, welcome back. So today I'm packing up for going camping with my little one, and I wanted to bring you along to share some of my tips and tricks for planning a successful road trip with a toddler. If you're like me, you're someone who's trying to figure out how you can travel with your little one and still maintain some peace of mind. Have less stress, have more fun. So today I will share with you some of my tips as I'm packing and bring you along my journey on my recent road trip to Maryland so you can see how we managed sort of the flow of road tripping together. By the way, if you are new here, my name is Raina and I love nature and the outdoors, gardening, cooking from scratch. If that sounds like things that you might be interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can join along for my journey.
Girl, it is early. Let's get a coffee cup. It's just the best. I have both the water bottle version and the coffee mug lid version. It's the best thing. Hot or cold beverages, keeps them that way for like 12 hours. Anyone else in the early mom days? You know how busy it is. You know how your coffee is never warm by the time you get a chance to drink it. Get yourself up to one of these and you will have hot coffee, even if it takes you an hour to get to it. Okay, I needed that. Oh, so the first thing about preparing for a road trip is that you, or any kind of vacation, is that you want to set your intention for your trip. Decide what is the one thing or two things that you really want to get out of this experience, and then focus on that. Make that your main lens through which you decide about everything else that you're going to do on your trip, and then just don't sweat the other stuff. Like, for instance, I'm going to the DC area. I could decide to spend a lot of time and energy trying to get downtown, see the monuments, see the White House, see the Smithsonian. But I know that the intention of my trip is to connect with friends that I've not seen since I've had baby, and to make meaningful experiences with my little one. And so because I know that my intention and my focus for this trip is connecting with people, and as a secondary rest and rejuvenation for myself, I'm not going to push myself to also do sightseeing. I'm just going to let that go, and I'm going to focus on the things that really matter to me, the things that I really want to get out of this trip. Okay, from there, you're going to want to you can choose to make like a loose itinerary. This doesn't have to be anything really fancy. You don't necessarily even have to type it up and print it out. You don't have to do all of that if that feels like extra work or extra project for you. But maybe make a mental note, or maybe like make a list on your phone or something. What days are you going to be there, and like what one or two things do you want to do in each day? So like for me, my focus is visiting people. So I reached out to the folks that I really wanted to see, and I said, hey, are you available on Thursday? Are you available on Friday? Morning, afternoon? When can we meet up? Are you interested in lunch? I can come to your house. And I made plans to meet up with certain folks that I wanted to see in a loose way, because things are always going to shift and change, so you can adjust a little as you go. Say you thought you were going to arrive at 2, but you really arrived at 3, so maybe you don't want to meet up with people until 5:30 or 6 instead of 4 o'clock. It doesn't have to be a tight time regimen, but having a loose idea of what you're going to do helps you to know where you're going and really maximize the time that you have. Oh, also, if you are a planner and you like to have a full itinerary, limit yourself to maximum 2 outings a day. What I've noticed in traveling with a little one is that when I try to do more than 2 major activities, say a birthday party and a walk in the park on the same day, he gets overstimulated. I get tired and frustrated because things are not going smoothly, and he's really cranky and nobody's happy. So giving yourself just those 1 or 2 things a day, leave a little bit of space for life to happen, because life does happen. Something takes a little longer, you need a nap, gotta change clothes and go home. Things happen, so like leave a little space. If you're a planner and you like to shove every minute full of stuff, I'm the person that does that. Limit yourself to max 2 things a day, and your future self will thank you for doing that.
So to review, you have set your intention for the trip. You are thinking about the things that matter to you the most. You're planning not too many, but just enough to have fun activities per day, one or two, whatever works for your family. Next thing to really focus on is managing your own energy level. Did you get enough sleep the night before? Are you tired? Are you hungry? Did you get your morning coffee? If you are not in your right mindset, it's going to be hard for the other people who you're responsible for to also stay in their right mindset and be calm and not be stressed out. So think about taking a few moments, you get all your stuff packed up, and then recenter. Take a few deep breaths, tell yourself why you're going on this trip in the first place, that it's going to be fun, that you're excited to do it, and then release. Release all the stress, release the anxiety. I know that there's always going to be a little bit of jitters, nerves, whatever. You always might have a little bit of that nervousness, especially if this is your first big road trip with your little one. But channel that feeling into being excited and say to yourself, I can do this. I can handle it. I believe in myself. Because if you keep your own energy calm, your little one will be more likely to be able to stay calm. Your child definitely picks up on your energy. I know that when I'm stressed out, or when I raise my voice, or when I get super excited, he also gets excited. So maintaining my own energy level at a calm and even pace has proven really successful for me in helping him to stay calm while in the car. Think about how you want to feel coming home from this road trip. That is going to dictate how you feel during it. And that's going to help you decide what choices to make while you're on your way. So for me, knew I wanted to feel happy, confident, calm, and really in the present moment. So you'll see I didn't really have a lot of video clips actually from the road trip itself because I wanted to be more present and available in the moment. Also, when I come home from this trip, I want to feel my cup overflowing with love from seeing my loved ones, my friends that I haven't seen in 2 years, people that, really care about. I want to feel just overflowing with love from having those great experiences with my friends and be able to share that love with everyone else in my life when I come back. So filling up my cup so that I can come back and share with others. So having all of that said, intention said, let's start putting some stuff in the car. Okay. It always helps if you have a packing list, so make a list. um, Maybe in the future that's something I can do. If you guys are interested in a packing list, let me know in the comments below. I could maybe make a shareable packing list that you guys could download. One thing that I learned is that you can make your road trip so much simpler by just packing strategically. So your items that you're going to need to access while you're driving, things like your keys, your wallet, your coffee, your water, your snacks, all of your essentials. You want to keep those up front. And I would also recommend, if I have overflow food, I would also pack the cooler on the floor and then like the snacks I was going to eat while I was driving in the chair in a cooler bag. And, then making sure that my car seat is set up so that I've got in my cup holders, water, coffee, whatever I need, hand sanitizer, sunglasses, sunscreen. I like to keep all the things that I need that are essentials that I might need while I'm on the road trip close to me in the front seat so that I don't have to go digging around through the things that are packed in the back at a rest stop. All of your essentials, you want to keep those up front next to you where you can easily reach them. And then things that you're not going to need until you get to your destination. Typically, I pack those things in the trunk, or things that you won't need right away. They can be sort of on the bottom of a pile, under a seat, on the floor of the car, in the trunk, something, etc. one tip that I have picked up recently that has really changed the game is you take your pack and play or whatever sort of baby holding device, playpen, bed that you're using, pack that in such a way that it's, yes, at the bottom of the pile, but also accessible as soon as you get to your destination. So I tend to, so I have found that if I pack my pack and play here, um, going this long ways instead of going across the vehicle, then when I get to my destination, I can just grab it out from the bottom of the pile, and then I can set the pack and play up, put little one inside of it, and then I can do whatever else I need to do, unpack the car, get the whole house, camp, whatever the situation is, get that set up while he is somewhere safe. Um, or if we arrive and he's sleeping, I can pull this out, put him quickly into bed, come back and take care of the rest of the stuff. So that would be one of my main tips, is to make sure, and if yours has a handle on the top, that'd be even better. Mine doesn't, but make sure that you can sort of easily get to this to pull it out from wherever you pack it. From here, I'm going to add my duffel bags with clothes here, then my camp gear on top. And I've got my hiking backpack ready to go. If you've not seen my hiking video, I'll link that in the description below. I purchased this around this time last year. I want to say it was around August last year, and it has come so much in handy. Obviously, I still use my stroller or my soft carrier for like short walks in the park, things with paved pathways, but for hiking, a stroller just isn't going to cut it. You kind of have to have some sort of a carrier. And this is one that allows you to both have your gear that you would take in your backpack, your water bottle, your snacks, your extra layer in case it's cold or hot, etc. You can pack all the things that you would need for a day hike and carry your child in it as well. And I believe this carrier goes up to 45 pounds, although I can only imagine that by the time he's 45 pounds, he will be walking the majority of our hikes, but we shall see. So yeah, this is the Osprey Poco Plus carrier. One of the best features of it actually is this sunshade that pulls out of it, and you can put that over their head, protect them from the sun, which is really nice. Other kid carriers have separate attachments that you can buy for sun cover. I loved that this one was built in. I will look up the one that I bought. I got it from REI, and I will link it in the description box in case anyone's interested in it.
Are headed out on our first solo road trip. Should be a fun time. We're gonna go to DC, Maryland area. Should be a 6-hour drive. We'll see if we make it in 8, and I'll check in along the way. I'm preparing for a trip to go to the DC, Maryland area. I lived there for a while, so I know the route to get back and forth pretty easily. So I know already like where the good rest stops are, where has the nicest bathrooms, where has, a playground, kid running space, just because when I used to travel that way back and forth solo, I would obviously, just in my own travels, I would stop at a rest stop and then keep in mind like, oh, this is a really good one, especially at the time I had a dog, and I would say, this is a really good one because it has grass, so I can stop here and I can take my dog out and I can walk her, and that would make this, a really good place to remember for the future. So I have those mental notes. If you're going on a road trip that's a place you've never been before, you might consider doing that. Just looking up, doing a smidge of research. Where are the good rest stops? Where are the places that have a Starbucks? Where are the places that have, a kid play space? You might want to know those things. If you are more an off-the-cuff person and you don't care and you can make do with whatever, maybe save yourself the time, but for me, that's really helpful. All right, we're just under 2 hours in and taking our first rest stop. One of the things that I have recognized in traveling with a toddler is that You'll need to take lots of breaks, hi, for snacks, cuddles, milk time, and just to get a break from the car seat. So we're gonna get out and walk around, go to the bathroom, and hop back in. For my backseat setup, I like to keep a diaper changing caddy with extra change of clothes, diapers, wipes, anything I might need, as well as I keep toys and snacks right next to my child's car seat so that he.
To the car seat, I always like to keep a diaper caddy, as well as on top of this, I would put a bag with some toys and books and things that he would be able to reach and access for him to entertain himself while he's sitting in the car. And I would just kind of set that on top of this basket right next to his car seat. But if you haven't done this yet, I encourage you to try it. Just keeping an extra diaper. I've got my cloth diapers here, a change of clothes. Uh, this is just a little cloth diaper changing mat, bottle of water, some diaper cream. Just having a couple little extra things in the car in case you need to do any diaper changes in the car is really super helpful, as well as if you're able to, leaving a space either in the back seat or in the trunk open and unpacked. You could use that space for diaper changes if you had to do a change, not in a rest stop restroom, but just sort of wherever you might have to do one in case of emergency. But diaper changing caddy, I found even not on hikes, even just regular everyday going on errands around the city, it's so helpful to just have the basics you might need for a diaper change in your car at the ready all the time. And then on top of this here, I would keep things like toys, books, etc., 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 that he could grab while he's sitting in the car. Excuse my messy car, but you can see here that I've got the car seat set up, and he's got two cup holders, which is awesome because I can give him a cup of water and milk, or I could put his snack cup in one of them and water in the other one, and then right next to it, diaper change caddy with all the essentials. Usually underneath his car seat, I would put something like his diaper bag in case I was doing a quick rest stop. I could just unhook him, grab the diaper bag from underneath the car seat, and run quickly into the rest stop area. All right, we're here at our next rest stop, and we're getting some lunch snacks and taking a little bathroom break. Getting out for a little walk at the rest stop to stretch your legs. Yeah, and if you can, give that little space of time for them to get out and stretch their legs at rest stops. Because this was a route that I had traveled many times previously by myself, I already had a good picture in my mind of which rest stops I knew had good grassy areas where we could get out and run around. I knew where had picnic tables that we could stop and eat for lunch. I knew which places had the best bathrooms that were going to have changing tables or tiny potties. If you've got a little one who's pottying, some rest stops do have that, which is super helpful. It made it really easy for us. You can also pack if you've got like a little potty at home. You can pack that to go in your car for them to use. All right, here's hoping that was the final stop, and we can get on our way to our destination. All right. While we're on the subject of things that I pack for my toddler, I like to make sure that he has lots of activities to keep him busy in the car. If you are a mama who likes to use a lot of technology and has an appropriate car hookup situation for that, maybe that works for you. Otherwise, I like to keep with all the other activities. So I pack books that he can look at in the car. Actually was surprised on this road trip by how well he remained entertained just by looking at the pictures in the book. Obviously, he couldn't read them, but he was still entertained by looking at them. Having some toys, including you might want to grab one or two novel or new toys, or something that has been out of rotation that they haven't seen in a while, something that feels like new might help entertain them for a little bit longer, as well as snacks. Lots and lots and lots of snacks. More snacks than what you think you need. Just keep feeding them snacks and, have whatever they normally have at home, water, milk, etc., available in cups. I like to keep one up in the front seat with me in my cooler, as well as I give him his water so that if one gets tossed somewhere in the back seat, I have a backup one that's with me that's ready to go. Oh, you also might want to think about songs that they like. I found that one of the things that helped to calm him if he was getting a little bit cranky in the car and not wanting to stay in his car seat was for me to put on his favorite songs and just sing to him and talk to him. One of the things that really made our trip a success, um, that was, this was our first solo road trip, that was just me and him, was really me staying tuned into his needs. So knowing if he needed to stop for a diaper change, I would stop. If he was hungry, I would make sure he had food or he had, whatever it was that he needed, staying in tune with his needs and thinking about that and sort of adjusting my schedule and adjusting what I'm doing accordingly. So if he was getting really super cranky in the back seat, I was turning down my music, turning down my podcast, um, thinking about talking to him, entertaining him. Could I hand him a book or a snack? Could I sing a song that he likes? If he was asleep, yeah, I was putting on my own entertainment stuff. But if he was awake and he was cranky, I was thinking about how to engage with him and keep him entertained. And doing that, I feel like really helped lessen sort of the, toddler tantrums and make it more enjoyable for both of us to be on this road trip together, as well as really keeping a loose timetable. So I planned on packing my car the night before so that I could leave super, super early in the morning. Alternatively, I think that this could really work if you needed to pack the car during the day, to leave at their natural nap time. So for us, that's sort of like after lunchtime. So, either we chose to leave first thing in the morning because I knew that I wanted to have a whole day to get to my destination without feeling stressed. So that if I needed to take 2 stops, 3 stops, 4 stops in order to accommodate his needs, I wouldn't be worried that we were going to get there so late. Alternatively, I think this could work really well if you left it their natural nap time. If you had all the stuff packed in the car in the morning, and let's say they normally take an afternoon nap, then you could get them lunch, milk bottle, whatever they normally have, set them in their car seat, and then start your road trip around the time that they would normally fall asleep. More than likely, they'll fall asleep in the car. You'll get a good long stretch of a couple hours that you can just drive without interruption, which makes it go by a lot faster. So yeah, I was super fortunate that we were able to leave early in the morning, not as early as I had hoped, but to me, that is just sort of the nature of a road trip. I planned to leave at 6. I think the car was back by 7:30, and maybe we left by 8, but that was okay. We still got to our destination by around 3 o'clock. And I felt like that was pretty good timing for just me by myself traveling with a toddler. I think managing your own expectations and not trying to push yourself into a really tight timeline is going to reduce the amount of overall stress that both of you experience on the trip. My last tip for a successful road trip with a toddler is to go with the flow. I had to take several times traveling with my little one to really learn this, but this is not going to be like a solo road trip. Anticipate that the trip is going to take longer than it would if you were traveling by yourself, and that you will take more stops, and that your stops will be longer than what it would be if it was just yourself who had to run into the bathroom and come back out. I tried to be mindful of the fact that a toddler doesn't know how long the trip is going to last. They can't see the GPS. Even if they could, they wouldn't understand it. They don't know how long they have been in the car. They don't know how long they will continue to have to be in the car. To them, the whole thing, all of the time is this amorphous, endless thing. And so giving yourself grace, giving them some grace, and saying, yeah, I know it's only been 1 hour, but you're tired because you don't understand what that means. So I really tried to keep in mind, um, toddlers, they don't have the same sense of time that we do. Everything feels super long to them. So giving that little bit of grace and saying, when we get to our rest stop, I will change your diaper and get you a snack, but I'll also maybe let you walk around the rest stop because you need a chance to stretch your legs just like I do. And you need a chance to release a little bit of that energy that you would be able to if you were at home and playing and living your normal routine. Just acknowledge their frustration, talk to them, be tuned into their needs. But yeah, so I was really fortunate that I knew the route really well, and I was able to plan out rest stops that I knew were going to have that space where we could get out and walk around, sit down for lunch, have a more leisurely trip as opposed to like a go, 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 go kind of a trip. The last thing I wanted to share is that in those moments of high energy and crankiness and frustration for you, for them, for everyone who's in the car, turn off the podcast or turn down the music and really just tune into the needs of the other folks who are in the car with you. Ask if they need something or want something. Are they bored? Do they need another snack? Would they like something to drink? I think that just by bringing our energy down, really grounding ourselves and staying calm in our own bodies, we'll be able to release sort of those good vibes into the environment that will allow others to also find their calm. And finally, just give yourself grace. Things don't have to go perfectly in order for you to still have a great time and still appreciate good memories together with your family. I hope that this encourages you to get out there and enjoy adventures with the toddler in your life. Road trips with small children can be enjoyable. And there's no magic product that you can buy or secret hack to packing that's going to prevent all stress and negative emotions. That's just life. But the one thing that we can all do to make family trips more enjoyable is to do the inner work. Set your expectations, manage your own energy, and give yourself grace. Thanks again for watching. This is Raina, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.